Hi and welcome to 8 different exercises to train the mobility, stability and strength of the hips, knees and ankles to prevent leg injuries, to minimize the risk of leg injuries, while learning some info snippets, trying to learn some info snippets to Euclidean vectors. Participating in the exercises is at your own risk, and we directly start with a warm-up exercise. The legs are standing wide apart and we breathe in and are going down to the knees. We're going up and we breathe out again and we breathe in and out again. Again in and out. Last time in and out. In, close the legs, and we can start the first exercise. All 8 exercises are exercises where we stand on one leg. Now the first info snippet to Euclidean vector. And it's as follows. An Euclidean vector is also called vector. So Euclidean vector is also just called vector. Now the first exercise. We have a good standing leg. The other leg has a flexed foot. And we swing the leg to the side and in front. And we just swing it to the side and in front, side and in front. And the toes of the leg, which is swinging, are pointing more or less forward. And we just swing it to the side and a bit in front. Euclidean vector are also called vector. And let's look what the second snippet is. Vectors are geometric objects. Vectors are geometric objects. Now with the other leg. Again, the leg up, the foot is flexed, and we swing it in front and to the side, front to the side. And the toes are pointing more or less forward of a leg which is swinging. Euclidean vectors are also called just vectors. And vectors are geometrical objects. And now we're done with this leg. A vector has a magnitude and a direction. A vector has a magnitude and a direction. Next exercise. We have a good standing leg. The other leg is up, again with a flexed foot. We're bringing that leg in front and back, in front and back. Euclidean vector. Euclidean vectors are also called vectors. Vectors are geometrical figures, geometrical objects. And a vector has a magnitude and a direction. And the next snippet. Vectors exist in math, physics and engineering. The next foot, just the same exercise again. The leg straight and the foot flexed, and we bring it in front and back. Vectors exist in math, physics and engineering. Euclidean vector. Euclidean vectors are also called just vectors. Vectors are geometrical objects. Vectors have magnitude and direction. Vectors exist in math, physics and engineering. In math, physics and engineering, vectors are geometrical objects which have a magnitude and direction. The next exercise. Now we have a good standing leg and we bring the other leg up into a right angle. The foot is flexed and the hips are even aligned. So not be too high on one side or too low, but even aligned. And now we just bring that leg to the outside and we breathe in. And out again, we're bringing it back into the middle and control down. And again up and to the outside, we breathe in. And out, back into the middle and control down. Now with the other leg. The leg comes up into a right angle, the foot is flexed, hips even aligned. We're bringing it to the outside, we breathe in. And out, we bring it back into the middle and control down. And one last time. Bringing it up, right angle, foot flexed, even aligned hips. Now to the outside, breathe in. And out again, back into the middle. And control down. In physics, math and engineering, magnitudes have vectors are geometrical objects with a magnitude and size. An initial point is often set to be A and the terminal point to B. So an initial point is often set to be A and the terminal point is often set to be B. Where's a point A and where's a point B? Next exercise. We bring the leg up, again right angle, again flexed foot, again even lined hips, and now it's also important to have a straight back. And we're pressing now with a hand against the inside of a knee. We try to be tall, right angle, foot flexed, even lined hips, and we're pressing. Try to be tall up. An initial point is often set to be A and a terminal point is set to be B. And now we're done with the first leg. Let's look how it goes on. It is often tried to depict vectors graphically. So these vectors, whereas often tried to depict them graphically. So we try to show what a vector is in a graphic. Now again, with the other leg, the leg up into a right angle, foot flexed, even lined hips, straight up, and we're pressing with a hand against the inside of the knee. And try to be tall, keep pressing, right angle, foot flexed, tall up, even lined hips, and keep pressing. An initial point is often set to be A, and a terminal point is set to be B. And it's often tried to depict vectors in a graphic. And that's enough, and let's look how it goes on. When vectors are depicted graphically, an arrow is placed above the letters A and B. And A means initial point and B terminal point. So when we try to depict vectors graphically, we often write the letter A and the letter B, and above them an arrow. And the last exercise with the setup of a leg in a right angle, a flexed foot, and even lined hips, and a straight back. And now the knee presses up and to the side. The knee presses up and the knee presses to the side. And it changes all the time. So up to the side, up to the side, up to the side. Try to be tall, right angle, even lined hips, foot flexed. Try to be tall and press up, press to the side, up to the side, up to the side. And a couple of more times. Up to the side, up to the side. And that is enough. And we have here, this was the second block, and now the third and last block. In Latin, the word vector exists. So, in the language Latin, there is a word, and that word is vector. We bring the upper leg up into a right angle, flexed foot, even lined hips, tall up, and the knee presses up and to the side, up and to the side, up and to the side. In Latin, the word vector exists. And keep pressing to the side, and up to the side, and up to the side, and up. And that is enough, and we look how it goes on. Vector in Latin means carries in English. So the word vector in the language Latin is in English carries. Now we are placing one hand on the tummy and one on the lumbar spine, and we're bringing one straight leg up with a flexed foot. If the quad cramps, bring it up and point the foot. So we're trying to bring the leg up. We're controlling with our hands that we don't go back or something. We control that we keep standing in one straight line. We're trying to bring the leg up, the foot is flexed. We're trying to bring it higher. So we have a straight leg, a flexed foot. We're trying to bring it higher and higher. We keep pressing. We try to bring it higher. We control that we are standing in a straight line, that we don't bend, that we have a neutral spine. And we try to bring it up, and that is enough. We're bringing it up and point the foot. And now we can go on the other side. But first here, another snippet. A vector is what is needed to carry the point A to B. A vector is what is needed to carry the point A to B. Now with the other leg. Again, one hand placed in front, and one lumbar spine region, and we're bringing the straight leg up with a flexed foot. And we're trying to bring it higher, but we're controlling, but don't go back or something. Try to bring it higher. Keep a neutral position with the spine. Try to bring it higher. Neutral position with the spine. Try to bring it higher. And try to bring it higher for the last few seconds. And now we're bringing it up and we're pointing the foot. And the magnitude of a vector is the distance from A to B. And the direction a vector has is the direct and shortest path from A to B. Next exercise. Now the standing leg points a bit to the outside with the toes. The other leg's with the heel on the ground. And we lift that heel off the ground and place it again on the ground, just with movement from the hips. And we don't do too many here. So do this exercise at your own pace. Euclidean vectors. Euclidean vectors are also called vectors. Vectors are geometrical objects. Vectors exist in math, physics, and engineering. Vectors have a magnitude and direction. In physics, math, and engineering, magnitudes are geometrical objects which have a magnitude and direction. Now with the other leg, again the toes pointing to the outside, the heel is on the ground, we lift the heel off the ground and place it again on the ground. In Latin, the word vector exists. Vector in Latin means in English carries. Vector is what is needed to carry point A to B. The magnitude of a vector is the distance of A and B and the shortest way from A to B is the direction. So the magnitude is the distance, how long it is from A to B, and the direction is the shortest way from A to B. So we have magnitude, how great the size of the vector is, by how far the distance is, and the directions this vector has is where point A and B lead to. And we've made it to the last exercise. And we've got standing leg. The other leg is up with a flexed foot. And we bring the leg back. And the other part of the body goes down. And we're trying to be tall with a standing leg to bring the pressure onto the biceps femoris. Euclidean vectors. Euclidean vectors are also called vectors. Vectors are geometrical figures. Vectors exist in math, physics, and engineering. Vectors have a magnitude and direction. In math, physics, and engineering, vectors have a magnitude and direction. Now with the other leg. I think that is it. In math, physics, and engineering, vectors have a magnitude and direction. An initial point is often said to be A, and the terminal point is often said to be B. We often try to depict vectors graphically. If a vector is depicted graphically, we place an arrow above the A for the initial point and the B for the terminal point. Vector in Latin means, and the last exercise, the opening exercise, we brief in. And out. A vector in Latin means carries. The word vector exists in Latin and it means in English carries. And the vector is what needed to carry point A to B. The magnitude of a vector, we breathe in and close the legs. And we're done with leg injury prevention training. And the magnitude of a vector is the distance from A to B. And the direction is the shortest way from A to B. Here's A, here's B, and the direction is the shortest way. Magnitude is how far we are apart, maybe like this, or like this. And the direction is from A to B, the shortest direction. Maybe B is here, then it's there. Or it's here, and then it's there. These are some info snippets to vectors. Euclidean vectors to vectors. I thank you for listening, for your attention, and if you've done it, also your participation in the leg injury prevention training at your own risk. Thank you very much and until next time.